Final round, very important in what's become a showpiece meeting at Silverstone, where our commentator is Murray Walker.
This is the crucial final round of the ESSO Formula Ford Championship here at Silverstone. And as you can see, the weather conditions could certainly be better. The track is dry, no problem there, but the heavy mist which fell on the circuit overnight has still not cleared away. The sun hasn't burned through. It's probably going to be a lot better later on, but this is the race that we're worried about now. And in pole position is young Stephen Robertson, 22 years old, who comes from Brentwood and is second in the championship. And there is the man who has already won it, Jason Elliott, who is a prodigy, a young prodigy of British motorsport in the last 2 years. Only 18 years old, he has already convincingly won the ESSO Championship, leads the RAC Championship, and is obviously going for victory in this vital race. And there is Stephen Robertson, number 2 in pole position on the grid. Second in the championship is a Van Diemen with a Minister-tuned engine, and his pole position time was 1 minute 39.07 seconds. That's a speed of 106 miles an hour, a bit over the lap record. There is one of the veterans, 31-year-old John Booth, Butcher Booth he's called, because there's another John Booth, there's an umbrella manufacturer, and he's called Brolly Booth. And John Booth there is well up on the grid as usual, because he's in 7th position, but right next to him is his friend John Village, who lives in Sheffield, as does John Booth, and those two have got a friendly needle match for 3rd place in the ESSO Championship. John Village there said, "Don't talk too much about me, Murray. Every time you do, I'm in trouble, and last time I did, he broke his leg." So we hope that doesn't happen again. These Formula Ford cars are quite literally mini Formula One cars. There's the little steering wheel in front of him, the rev counter, the oil pressure gauge. They've got balance controls for the suspension. They are propelled by a 100 horsepower 1600cc Ford engine, 4-speed gearbox, and they'll do about 140 miles an hour. Now, one man we haven't mentioned, shown on the grid there, is number 5, Roland Ratzenberger, and yes, that really is his name. Roland Ratzenberger, who comes from Austria, and he's in 5th position in the championship. And it's a clean start, and Jason Elliott moves across from the left side of the grid straight into the lead. Alongside him is Steve Robertson, and so it is the reigning champion, the ESSO Formula Ford champion of 1986, 18-year-old Jason Elliott, appropriately number 1, who superbly takes the start with a magnificent blast-off from the line. And as he goes round the left-hander at Maggots, down towards the 2nd gear right-hander at Beckett's Corner, which they take at 90 miles an hour, it is Elliott in the lead, it's Robertson in 2nd position, it's Phil Andrews from the centre front row of the start in 3rd position. And now you can see what the weather conditions are like as they come down the tremendously fast Hanger Straight at some 140 miles an hour. And Robertson is going for the lead, and he takes it, and he's taking with him in the process Andrews up into 2nd place. Down to 3rd place goes Jason Elliott. Number 29 there was Simon Munger from Cunnington. And these 1600cc, 140 mile an hour motor cars are on their way. And this is some of the closest racing you see anywhere these days. And this Grand Prix circuit here at Silverstone is one that they don't use very often, and it's Robertson in the lead now, the professional racing driver from Brentwood. He's had a bad spell recently. He's coming down to Woodcote to the chicane, and Jason Elliott is in the lead and flings it sideways. Right, left, right. Elliott leads. Robertson is in 2nd position. In 3rd place, it's Phil Andrews. Then in 4th position behind Andrews, Ratzenberger has come up from the second row of the grid, and Elliott takes the right-hander and Cox very wide indeed. This is a 10-lap race, 29.3 miles. From Cox to Maggots, from Maggots to Beckett's, and Jason Elliott is really stamping his class on the circuit. It looked to me like a bit of a touch there, but nobody has gone off. If there was a touch, there was a masterly recovery, and Elliott, who, as I said earlier on, is a prodigy and who's going up to Formula Ford 2000, the next Formula up in 1987, is on his way. There he is leading, so Elliott in the lead, Robertson in the Van Diemen, as is Jason Elliott, the most popular of the Formula Ford racing cars, is in the lead. But Robertson challenges. Robertson in the red car, Andrews in the yellow and white one takes the lead as they go round the tremendously fast right-hander, now on towards Abbey Curve, which they take at about 145 miles an hour. And Stephen Robertson, there he goes in the Van Diemen with the Minister engine, and you can see that it's anybody's race now because there's about 5 of them. This is a typical Formula Ford race. 1, 2, 3, 4, what is it? 6 of them absolutely together through the chicane at the end of lap 2, 8 laps to go. Robertson leads, Elliott is in second place, those two pulling away a bit. Phil Andrews in third position as the midfield men still come streaming through the chicane. 8 cars virtually together, and coming up extremely well is Gerald van Wietert, the Dutch driver in the red and white Van Diemen with the distinctive chevron markings, and he is now, there he is, you can just see him in the background there, and it's still Robertson leading, taking a very wide line. There was Van Wietert, there he is, you just see him at the back of the leading bunch, but he can pull up, and that is the man, Van Wietert, who is the Dutch champion of 1986, another ex-kart driver. But meantime, Elliott on the right in the yellow and blue car is in line astern with Robertson. He takes the lead again. In second position, it is still Phil Andrews. It's Van Diemen's first and second and third. That is no surprise. And this is lap 3 out of 10. All these cars are virtually identical because the Formula Ford regulations are very rigid about the specification and what can be done to the cars. The result is tremendously close racing. 4-speed gearboxes, the cars weigh 420 kilograms, they all use the same type of Dunlop road tyre, not on racing slicks like they are in Formula 3, Formula Ford 2000 and Formula 1 of course. And at the end of the lap, Elliott leads, Robertson second, and now Elliott for the first time has got a gap that you can actually measure on a stopwatch because he's leading by 1 second now. 18-year-old Jason Elliott, supported by his tremendously enthusiastic father, who used to race Formula Ford himself against James Hunt, amongst other people. And Jason Elliott is the man who won the Star of Tomorrow Formula Ford contest last year, 1985. So he won the Star of Tomorrow contest last year. He has won the ESSO Championship this year. He seems likely to win the REC Senior Formula Ford Championship this year. And he's still only 18 years old. Plenty of time to build his career. Robertson goes through. The lead will change and change again and change yet again all through this race. And if it's going to be a typical Formula Ford race, it will not be resolved until the last corner of the 10th and last lap. That corner is Woodcote, and we can expect to see them come under the bridge into Woodcote, through the chicane, and over the line virtually together. But now, Stephen Robertson from Brentwood is in the lead. Jason Elliott is in second place. Phil Andrews in third position. Their numbers are 2, 1 and 8, and they're into Woodcote at 110 miles an hour. And now in fourth position is John Booth. So John Butcher Booth, the champion of Oulton last year, and a man who's had a lot of Formula Ford success, tremendously tall. He too is recovering, or has now recovered from a broken leg, and he is up into 4th position. Tremendously close. So Robertson, Elliott, and off has gone Van Weetert. Well, I was talking about Van Weetert, and out of the race he has gone, and with Van Weetert you can see the car there, Neil Cunningham's car that is, but meantime, on they go round the circuit. Here are the midfield men, and these are the leaders, and once again, Elliott on lap 5. This is the half-distance lap, leads with Robertson studying 4th. These three are dominating the race, these three being Elliott, Robertson, and on the outside, number 8, Phil Andrews, is going for the lead, and for the first time, Andrews leads. But now, up into 4th position has come Ratzenberger, number 5. John Booth is there as well. So, it is Elliott, Andrews, Robertson, Ratzenberger going through on the inside there, the man in the white car with the red helmet, and John Booth. Those 5 now, these are the ones that are going to decide the race, because you can see there's a big gap now between the first 5 and the ones who are following them. And it's Andrews leading. Number 8, Phil Andrews, who comes from Walsall, 3rd in the RAC Championship, only 8th in this, the ESSO Championship. And by the way, there's 20 points for a win, 15 points for 2nd place, and so on, down to 1 point for 10th place and 2 for fastest lap. And Andrews on the left is leading. Robertson now leads because Andrews ducks into his slipstream. Jason Elliott has been passed by Ratzenberger, and Elliott, the ESSO champion of 1986, is down to 4th place with John Booth challenging him. And now Robertson and Andrews have pulled away quite dramatically on the 6th lap out of 10 from Ratzenberger and number 1, Jason Elliott. Very, very misty down at the Stowe corner area, and from Stowe on to Club and Abbey as the leaders come through now under the bridge to complete their 6th lap. And there is a discernible gap as Andrews dives through. Robertson lets him take the line. Jason Elliott closes up Ratzenberger right behind him, and just behind Ratzenberger is John Booth. And the gap between the 1st and the 5th is 4/5 of a second only. 3rd, 4th, 5th, absolutely together as they go into the right-hander and Cox. Ratzenberger 3rd. Elliott in the yellow and blue car is taking the 3rd position from Ratzenberger, who's got John Booth right behind him. Robertson in the red car is 2nd, and the leader is Andrews, and this is lap 7. And off has gone Roger Cox in the Reynard, the man from Daventry. There are 1 or 2 Reynards in this race, but the dominance is held in terms of numbers and success in Formula Ford this year by Van Diemen, because Reynard have transferred their efforts to Formula 3, and very successfully too. Now, down the Hangar Straight, and this is 140 miles an hour, down to the 3rd corner, 3rd gear corner at Stowe. Andrews, Robertson, Elliott. On the right of your picture in the white car is Ratzenberger 4th. Right behind him, John Booth is 5th. So it is Van Diemen leading. There it is. Robertson now in the Van Diemen is in the lead. Andrews in the Van Diemen in 2nd place. And then 3 more Van Diemens, 4th, 5th and 6th. And John Village, number 4, is closing up on the battle for 3rd, 4th and 5th place as Andrews flings his car sideways into the chicane to complete lap 7. It's Andrews leading, Robertson 2nd, Elliott 3rd, Ratzenberger 4th, Booth 5th, and John Village in the lone white car in the background there ahead of the blue one. And that is number 4, John Village. There he is really cramming on the pace to try and catch John Booth, his rival, for 3rd place in the championship. There's very little in it between them. John Booth is on 129 points, and off there, you see. At That's at Cops Corner, and off has gone number 39, Sean Jones. Alongside him is Julia Westwood, number 26. As you can see, they've got off at the same corner as Van Wietert and Neil Cunningham, and they are all perfectly all right. And there's obviously a lack of adhesion at Cops, probably caused by the fact that they've both got someone very close to them. Meantime, lap 8. Andrews emerges from the mist with Robertson in the red Van Diemen behind him. Jason Elliott, 18-year-old Jason Elliott is there. And now in 6th position, Gary Ailes has moved up number 6 in yet another Van Diemen. He's won one of the races in the championship so far, and the leaders go under the bridge into Woodcote to complete lap 8, and this time it's Elliott. Elliott absolutely on the ragged edge of adhesion, flips the Van Diemen through, and in 2nd position now, it's Phil Andrews. They're pulling away from Ratzenberger, who is in 3rd place. Down to 4th has gone Robertson. And I do believe that Jason Elliott has been driving a tactical race. There are the 4 cars off at Cops. And Jason Elliott, who's got an astonishingly cool and mature young head on his shoulders, has been about the place, studying the lines and the competition all the way through the race, and this is the penultimate lap, 9 out of 10. But Roland Ratzenberger will be going for it from Salzburg, only 3 years racing experience, all in Formula Ford. That's number 5 on the left of your picture, and as you can see, he's battling for the lead with Jason Elliott, and Ratzenberger takes the lead, and right round the outside of both of them goes Stephen Robertson. Terrific bit of driving that was. Robertson surges round the outside of the other 4, and now the battle is on, because we're coming up to the start soon of the last lap. They all know what the others can do, and it will be who gets into Woodcote first on the last lap that will decide this race. But now, as they come up towards Woodcote for the 9th and last time but one, Robertson has broken away a bit. Elliott is in 2nd position, or is he, because Ratzenberger's going through on the inside? Robertson leads through, Ratzenberger is 2nd, Elliott is 3rd. Then in 4th position it is Phil Andrews. Right behind Andrews is Booth, and Gary Ailes is up with them. 6 cars virtually together on the last lap now, with Robertson having broken away, and he may well have broken the toe, in which case the others are going to find it very hard indeed to catch Stephen Robertson, 22 years old, from Brentwood, who has had a bad spell recently, but my goodness, he's recovered from it magnificently here at Silverstone today. So it's Ratzenberger 2nd, Elliott 3rd, as they go down the Hanger Straight for the 10th and last time, building up to 140 miles an hour in 4th and top gear, down to Stowe. And that, surging out of line, is Phil Andrews. Robertson leads going round Stowe, down to Club, a little short straight at 120 miles an hour. And here is the leader, goes through. Robertson is round Club. Now he's got to go up to Abbey. I don't see how the others can catch him. There's a bit of tyre smoke there as they made contact. Robertson takes it very wide, cuts across, and Jason Elliott has got his left wheel off the circuit there. That's lost the race for Elliott without a doubt, and Robertson is going to win, and it's going to be his 3rd win of the series in 1986. He comes into the chicane. Stephen Robertson exits the chicane and wins the race with Ratzenberger 2nd. In 3rd position is Phil Andrews. In 4th place behind Andrews is Gary Ailes. 5th is the championship winner of 1986, Jason Elliott. And in 6th position, John Booth, who will therefore certainly take the 3rd position in the championship from his rival, John Village.
Yes, Jason Elliott, 5th in the final race, but safely clinching the championship well ahead of the Silverstone round. Stephen Robertson, the race winner, is runner-up in the championship. John Booth third, and John Village sharing fourth place with the amazingly named but very swift Roland Ratzenberger.